Welcome to Review, everyone. Today we're doing the final installment of the Lord of the Rings series, The Return of the King. Get ready, everyone. This is Review. Cue theme music. What's that? We still don't have theme music. One-man operation? Nobody's back there? I'm just talking to myself? Welcome to Review, everyone. Today we're doing Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, the third installment of the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. I have watched the first two installments of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. We watched the first one, and my wife said, all right, I want to watch the next one right now. And I'm all like, kind of Lord of the Ringed out already, but I don't argue with the wife. One other thing I remember about this movie, and it's been building up, Eowyn, who is, one, an additional love interest for Aragorn, and two, basically the absolute model of women's empowerment, is given more chances to fight in this movie with all these giant epic battle scenes. Last time I saw this movie, the last few times I saw this movie, some of her awesome lines were basically a little bit overdone. As much as I say how great these movies are, how well done these movies are, and how much the movie could be terrible and hack and cliche unless you do it right and do it well, her lines were one of the exceptions. This all being said, she had that line. She's fighting the Nazgul, and it's this big epic moment. She's about to get killed. Pippin comes, saves her, and then she gets up, saves him. He says, "No man can defeat me." And she takes her sword, rips off her helmet. "I am no man." Boom! Sword into his face. He collapses in on himself, and boom. So, yay, women's empowerment. Okay, guys, that one was a little bit much. It seems like they were pandering on that one, and at the time when I saw this, and probably for several viewings after that, okay, yeah, yay, good line, cool line, but at this point, I've seen this so much, it just seems it's just too much. I personally don't think that part really held up too well. When I view this again, we're going to find out. That's the whole purpose of what I'm doing here. How much do these movies hold up? Is my perception of them right or wrong? That's part of the fun of what I'm doing here. Let's get our geek on, and let's finish the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So, guys, Return of the King. I don't know why my hands are out. Return of the King. I'm just going to go and watch the movie. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you on the review. Well, folks, I watched Return of the King, made some notes, and then subsequently forgot to actually film them. So here I am, a few weeks later, and I'd say I'm rocking this COVID-19 hair and the beard that I am subsequently growing out, because why else not? But when I say rocking it, that would imply that I think it looks good, which, I mean, come on, look at it. So, yeah. Either way, I can still do this in good conscience thanks to the notes that I took during and immediately after watching the movie. So, without further ado, here is my review. One thing that I feel that I should really mention before we get any further along the way is something that actually got cut out of earlier sections of these videos, and that's all about Arwen or Eowyn, or the human love interest, Eowyn. Eowyn was being kept out of combat, and I believe I mentioned that in the Two Towers video, but here's the catch. I never got the sense that Eowyn was being kept out of combat or written off by the other characters simply because she was a woman. There was always a mitigating circumstance. Case in point, in the Two Towers, the women and children needed somebody to lead them to safety to Helm's Deep. In Return of the King, she needed to stay out of combat because her uncle, the King of Rohan, was going into combat, and if he dies, he said she would have to lead the people. In other words, he pretty much flat out said, I die, you're queen. But once again, I never felt she was specifically being kept out of combat just because she was female. So with all of this being said, here's the real question. Does Lord of the Rings Return of the King still hold up after all these years? I'm going to have to say yes. There's very little doubt in my mind. This movie still holds up. Now, special effects, yeah, some of them look kind of cartoony throughout the whole Lord of the Rings series. Other ones still are pretty good. But keep in mind, these are 20 years old. Of all of the Lord of the Rings movies, my guess is this one's going to age the worst as time goes on. And that's because there were a lot of over-dramatic moments that, well, not as hokey as I remembered from previous viewings, still had some moments that were pushing it. There was one where the wind comically blows when Elendil mentions the cursed men. There was another moment where we see Eowyn dropping a book in slow motion. Hey, is that Gimli? There's another one where they reveal the sword of Aragorn's ancestors and a symbol of the rightful king of Gondor. Liv Tyler's father gives it to Aragorn. They will answer to the king of Gondor. Sword also keeps them dry in the rain. There's some other things. Frodo, Sam, and Smeagol / Golem come upon, I believe it was Minas Morgul, I want to say the City of the Dead. I think it's called the Dead City. It's just a bunch of buildings, lights pouring out of them. My wife said it looked like a club. And I'm going to tell you right now, I bet that would have been a cool place to hang out in my younger days. City of the Dead, City of the Dead. The way is shut, 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 the way is just made by those who want it, by those who want it, by those who want it. It is made by those who want it, by those. But there's a guy at the door checking people's clothes. Won't let them in if they don't look cool enough. You know what? They'd never let me into a place like that. Just as well. That DJ is terrible. There were definitely a few moments that got a bit overly dramatic to the point of being cliche. Although, I'm going to say right now, they weren't as bad as I remember from the last time I saw them, other than a few hokey special effects. The movie, indeed the entire trilogy, really does hold up. After watching all three, though, I gotta admit, I don't think I'm going to be able to sit through any of them again for a while. I'm Lord of the Ringed out. I'm going to need a break. I don't think there's much more of substance to say about this movie that I haven't already said in previous films. Hopefully, though, you've enjoyed these videos, and this is the point where I would ask you to like and share and subscribe and comment down below. If I didn't have any dignity, which I only have small shreds of, so please, by all means, give me a like, comment, share with all your friends, and honestly, guys, seriously, I'm all for constructive criticism. I'm just doing this for fun. The way is shut, 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 the way is just made by those who want it, by those who want it, by those who want it. It is made by those who want it, by those who want it, by those.